Obviously your awning is going out. Right now, like I said, we just washed this unit, so the best thing you can do
is go home.
Put it out. Well, not with this wind that we're having.
Is it supposed to do that?
Yeah,
No.
yeah, okay. It opened up. That's the dump feature. So once you see bare tube, that means you're out all the way. You really want to be able to see that sticker there pointing towards you. Okay.
1 second.
That way you're not overextended or underextended.
Do not pull me.
Now, the way that these awnings are set up, it already has a pretty good pitch on it, so if you wanted to just leave it like this, you could, and the water's just going to run off the front here.
Okay.
Now, if you wanted to, say, if you're not on a very level campsite, and you feel like it's tipping towards the back, you can adjust these arms, tighten them down, and now your water's going to run off this way.
Oh, that's neat.
Okay? Same thing with that other side there. But when putting it back in, you want to loosen up your arms so they fully extend themselves, and then you can roll it back up.
Gotcha.
Okay? Like I said, the same thing with that arm. They're really easy to pull down, and you just lock that nut in, so then you can pitch it back off that way if you want to.
Okay.
Okay.
Ready?
Next slide out.
Get off of it. Get off of it. Thank you.
Not so skinny anymore.
This one, once it goes all the way out, you hear a ratcheting noise. That means you're out. You're completely out.
Gotcha.
Once you hear that ratcheting noise, that means the motor is completely out. And I just go around, I run my hand around, make sure I can't feel any voids in between the wall and the gas tank. I also, sometimes I look, make sure you can't see any daylight. I mean,
yes.
You just want to make sure it's completely sealed.
Okay.
And then your other slide out switch is here.
Back up, buddy. Thank you.
Yeah, my room is getting bigger.
Which one are you going to sleep on?
Well,
You got lots of choices.
Highest he can get to, probably.
I bet.
I always like to sleep at highest.
There you go.
There's somebody else high.
Now, do you know if they like shampooed the carpet or anything, or?
As far as shampoo, no.
Okay.
Ratcheting noise, means you're all the way out.
Good.
What's up, buddy?
7 people can sleep here.
Okay, the switches to put out your awning and your slide out. So you do have a touchpad here.
Oh, nice.
The code is 000 until you want to change it from that.
Okay.
I always just leave it 000.
000.
The light switch. You can run your awning.
Nice.
There we go.
It's like they're all a little bit different.
It's just real sensitive to touch them. Slide 3
Alistair.
is going to be this one here.
Okay.
You put it in and pull it out from here.
Haha.
Slide 2
Alistair, I would appreciate you not doing that right now.
is your rear slide.
Gotcha.
And slide 1 will be your main slide. So you can actually, while you're on the outside, if you have trees that are really close, you can bring this outside with you
cool.
and run this so you can see and make sure you have complete clearance. Gotcha. Otherwise, you inside running the switches, your husband outside watching to make sure nothing's going to get put into it, or vice versa. Okay?
Cool.
All right. Obviously, your bedroom, you have push button lights above. Here, emergency exit there. Your TV will flip around in a circle all the way into this room. It just has a safety latch on this side in the bedroom to release it. Always have the safety latch in place while you're driving down the road.
Yes.
That way it's not going
jostling around. That is a
all over the
mirror.
place. Yes.
Television. Yeah.
Yep. Up here is where your monitor panel is. Okay. You have your water pump switch. You have your hot water heater, LP gas. That's how you run it on gas, and you have your hot water heater electric. Okay. All switches are illuminated when they're in the on position. Okay. Some, I mean, you'll hear people, oh, I run my LP gas and my electric all at the same time, so you really don't gain too much from it at all. All it's doing is it's keeping your your propane from kicking on until you're actually using it, and it, regains your power. Like I said, I always use my propane during the day. Nighttime, I flip it off and just leave my electric on.
Okay. How much propane does it run down if you use it?
Not much. I mean, those two 30-pound tanks, they'll, between what you're using, depending on if you're doing a lot of dry camping, and you're using a lot of propane all the time, those tanks will probably last you 3, 4, or 5 trips.
Okay.
Okay.
That's amazing. What about the heat, though? You said the heat was all propane?
The heat is all propane. It's not that big of a burner inside that heater. It's just got a lot of good airflow. Okay.
Awesome.
Still, probably about five trips you'll make out of both of those tanks.
Wow. Yeah. Okay. We got a trip in October, and it's going to be cold.
Oh yeah, it'll definitely warm it up in here. It gets super hot here.
Okay.
Your monitor panel. You got battery voltage. As long as you're plugged into 110 power, that battery voltage should read all the time, because that means it's charging your system. If you ever see that it's not reading full, either you don't have 110 power anymore, or you blew a breaker or a fuse inside the fuse box.
Ah, okay.
Okay.
Do you recommend keeping fuses on
always
board?
Yep, they're just regular automotive fuses.
Okay.
Like I said, they could, even if there's not a problem, it could blow whenever it wants to. Older fuses, I mean, it's 2016, I bet you they're probably, most likely the original fuses have been sitting in there, okay?
Gotcha.
Handful of 15 amp fuses, a couple 40 amp fuses, and 25 amp. That's what's going to be inside there. Everything in that monitor, in that panel down there, is labeled for what appliance it's running. Nice. And also on the left hand side, you have your 110 breakers, just like your household breakers at home. Okay. If they ever kick on you, you have to shut them all the way off in order to turn them back on.
Gotcha.
Okay. Fresh water tank fill. Right now, I have a full tank of fresh water in there, just so I can do my demonstration with you. Your black tank is empty, and your gray tank is empty. And you said, when I usually start dumping when it hits about 2/3. Okay. So 3 lights lit up, it's time to start thinking about dumping the tanks. Okay.
And when you winterize those tanks, do you have to put stuff in the black tank?
Well, what we do for winterizing is we hook up directly to the pump. I'll show you all that in the back. Sure. And we siphon our antifreeze through the entire system so you have pink at all the faucets, all your water fixtures. After that, I just go and dump the tanks. Okay. You don't have to leave anything inside of them. Okay. I mean, there's enough room in those tanks where if you have a little bit of that, there's plenty of room for expansion where it's not going to crack anything. Gotcha. Okay. Any questions up to this point?
Oh, you've been very good at answering them every time
Refrigerator. Right now, it's running on gas. Okay. Like I said, it cools it the fastest. I turned this on this morning at 7:30. You can feel the cold plate already. It's already starting to freeze.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thanks, Alistar.
Refrigerator. Good amount of space for inside of a camper.
Yeah.
Camper fridge. Okay, so like I said, it's on gas. It's only going to run on gas. Okay. Switch it to auto. It will run on electric first because we're plugged into electric. Gotcha. Green light's on means we have electricity. It's run on electricity. If you ever notice that you're on automatic and this yellow light is lit, that means you're on gas. And for some reason, you don't have electricity anymore. I always look first here. Is my clock on? Okay, we have 110 power still. Gotcha. Then I go down here and check my 110 breaker for my refrigerator. Okay. Okay. Huh. That fan that's running in there, that will periodically come on as being plugged into 110. Your charging system is running, so it's just keeping like all the circuits cool and everything. Good. Okay. TV system.
Alistair, pay attention to this part. You'll be in charge of the TV.
Yes.
Now for every mode, if you're going to run off of your batwing antenna, first you have to put your antenna up in the air. Little tip for remembering that this is up in the air is I get a clothespin. I paint it bright orange. When I put it up in the air, I clip that clothespin on there because that's always going to catch my eye when I'm getting ready to leave.
Cool. Dad would put his camper keys up there.
There you go. Perfect. That's a great idea. I never even thought
Can't leave
about
without those?
No, you can't. But yeah, just so you know that it's there. That's one of the biggest things is how many times you drive late and you're in a rainstorm and you're trying to get out of here quick and then that stays up, you catch it on a tree branch, that's it. Alright, obviously we're not going to get really good reception on the inside of this building being it's made of metal, but running on antenna, you do have to go through the whole entire setup.
Okay.
So you have to go to your menu, over to channel. Air is what you want to be on for antenna.
Okay.
And then you go down to auto scan.
Okay.
And you're going to do your auto scan, and it's going to find all of your available local channels.
Cool.
I wonder how many channels it's gonna find.
Maybe a couple inside here, but outside,
If we had cable TV,
if you had
like the
cable
hookup.
TV, you would
mine's
go,
YouTube.
instead of air, you would switch over to cable,
Okay.
and it would just automatically come up. You'll be
Oh,
able to
okay.
swap through it. You don't have to do with this whole entire scan. The scan is really only for your air channels.
Gotcha.
But
We
outside,
don't even have
yes-
cable at home. That'd
Yeah.
be like luxury.
Yeah. Outside yesterday, I got 17 channels
Oh, wow.
on your air.
Okay.
So, all right, while that's going, AM/FM radio, DVD player, CD player. All you have to do is toggle in between your sources. If you want DVD, you would go to source and go to AV output.
Okay.
Okay, that'll run your DVD.
Gotta go buy some DVDs. Does it have Bluetooth or anything like that? Or
This one is not Bluetooth. I believe it's got USB hookups. Where you can hook in AV or USB, so you could hook up
okay.
your phone to it to play your music or whatever.
is that is this sound system like a car sound system where you can just kind of pull it out and replace it?
This will pull out. I mean, it's just got a couple. This rim will pop out, and there's 4 screws that hold that into place.
Okay.
And it does have a similar hookup that a car system does.
Good.
The
Okay.
one regular stationary plug, and it runs all your speakers and everything like that.
Ah.
Okay. You said you got AM/FM radio. You have your remote control here. Really just going around. You can still program your radio stations into it just like you do with your car stereo.
Okay. And does the TV play off the same speakers?
TV plays off its own
Okay.
speaker. If you're on DVD, the DVD will transfer over to those speakers
Ah, okay.
for surround sound. But yes, just regular TV is just going to come out your TV speakers.
Okay. Unless I can find a way to hook in and
Okay,
then.
yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I'll figure that out. Or I'll upgrade the system and figure that
There you go.
out.
Perfect. So right now we already found 17 channels.
Nice.
And it's not even halfway through. That's good.
Okay.
Lots of storage inside the unit, as you can see.
Yeah, the boys needed their hiding places, so
Yeah,
that was
I Okay. Basically same function as I showed you the outside sink. You got your hot and cold. You hear the pump come on.
Yeah.
Takes a little while for it to generate heat up here.
Have fun? All right.
Nice and hot.
You've been a good boy.
Of course, your dinette set will also drop down into a bed too.
Oh, fun.
Okay.
Oh, that's a spot for Abby.
What you do is you remove the tabletop from its metal legs.
Okay.
The metal legs will pull out of the ground, and this tabletop will lie in this bracket here.
You're going to have to help
And
me
you
with it.
just
How do you
fold-
remove that?
This, watch your arm, buddy.
I feel like there's screws.
It just lifts up.
Oh,
Pop out of place.
nice. Thank you. And then these kind of pull off, or?
Yep, they'll pull right out of the ground,
Oh, cool.
just like that. And then this table,
Do you recommend? I've
slide.
seen things that say that they recommend putting in the sleeping position to travel.
I don't really have to. I mean,
Okay.
it's in there pretty good. You know what I mean?
Good.
So it's nice and stiff in there. It's not going to go anyplace.
Okay. Good. You want to help with that? You can work on that. Sure.
Let's see.
Oh, just needed some
Okay. You
adult
loosened it
muscles.
for me. And it said these
And then that
cushions will
just
lift
slides
up.
in there. Okay.
And you put it in there, and then these cushions will slide over the top of the.
Uh-huh. I think we should have it down like that all the time so that we can all snuggle on top of it
There you go.
and watch TV that way.
Oh, you got another hiding spot.
There you go. Silly goose. That's my boy. Sure, I can shut the door. I'm gonna have to put one of those battery-operated lights in there. What do you think, bud? Goes right back on.
There.
Cool.
Alright.
Ooh.
The ceiling light is this switch here. And there's 2 different switches.
Oh, nice.
Okay, so now you can just operate it from that switch by itself. The wall light has got the switch on it.
Good to know. Cool.
Your shades.
Oh, I've been familiar with those. Mom and Dad had an RV, and they're
Okay.
a bear to get up and down if you
Yeah.
pull it the wrong way.
So eventually, I mean, as you're driving down the road, I always drive with them fully extended.
Oh, okay.
Because in the up position, there's more flat. So then your lines end up stretching, and then they won't stay up.
Good to know.
Okay. If that ever happens though, all you have to do is take the string
Yeah.
that is ran by and do a rotation around that spool.
Oh,
And that'll
okay.
tighten them up. Do even on both sides. If you do two rotations on this side, do 2 rotations on that side.
Okay.
That way it's not going to sit crooked at that
Oh,
point.
I've never seen that.
Thermostat, this is where you run your air conditioner, your circulation fan, or your heat from. Okay. Very self-explanatory. Heat mode, push it to heat mode, and then turn it up to whatever temperature you want it to go through, just like your household thermostat.
Okay.
Most likely, when you're setting this thing, you're going to be shutting off probably way before it even gets 75, 80 degrees in here, because it heats up pretty quick.
Okay.
Which is not a bad thing. At least you're going to be, you're going to be warm when you're asking for it.
Yeah.
When you first turn it on to heat, the fan will come on. After 1 minute, the burner will light itself.
Okay.
Same thing in shutdown mode. Once you turn it off, the fan will continue to run. The burner went off, but it's cooling the outside port and getting rid of any excess gas that was in the system that
Okay.
it was already using. I'll let that go for a little bit. I'll just keep on going.
How do you recommend cleaning these?
Just Phillips head screwdriver. We'll take that vent cover right off of it and then just take a shop vac and clean it. Suck out that
okay.
there. Yep. Just two screws there.
I was thinking
pop it
something
off,
like
and
leaf blower and put it somewhere and
you can just
shoot something right there.
suck it right out from
Okay.
from each port.
Perfect. Because I know my other son is going to.
And of course, you have your cable hookups and your electrical
Yes.
outputs there.
We were told not to leave the TV there in transit.
Yeah. Nope, absolutely not. I usually just put it on the bed, underneath some pillows or anything like that.
Okay.
Underneath this bunk is where your hot water heater system is,
Ooh. Wow.
and where your water pump is.
Oh, cool.
Are you going to be doing your own winterizing? Okay, so familiar how to do it, or someone?
Not yet. I figure there's YouTube and my parents. They've done the winterizing of their RV.
So winterizing, make sure all your tanks are empty, including your hot water heater. So your hot water heater has a little plastic plug on the outside there. Loosen up, let it drain out.
Okay.
I always leave mine out all winter long.
Oh.
Okay, because there is a belly in these tanks, so all the water doesn't always get out of it. But at least if you leave it open all winter long, it can expand out.
Oh,
Okay. Shut-off valves. This is for winterizing. Right now, it's in working mode.
Okay.
So winterizing the unit, you want to prevent anything from going in. So it's called a bypass. You want to shut off the water going in to the tank. You want to shut off the water going out to the tank. So right now it's blocked.
Okay.
And then you open the bypass. So what it's doing is hitting a wall. You can't get to the hot water heater. So I'm going to go up and find my shortest way out.
Gotcha.
Okay, so right now that's in bypass. Over here, where your water pump is, if you wanna get okay, you have an exterior hose here where you can put inside the gallon of antifreeze that you're going to be pumping through the system. So this valve you want to have open so it can actually siphon from here, and this valve here closed, because that's the line that's going down to the fresh water tank. So now it's not pulling from the tank, it's going to pull from this point.
Okay.
But for in working mode, how you want it to pull from the tank, you want to make sure your winterized hose is closed off and your siphon hose from your fresh water tank is open.
Okay.
Okay? Again, working mode here. So right now, if we went to the faucet, there'd be no hot water. It would just be the cold water circulating through.
Okay.
Again, Another spot for mice to conjugate, because it's nice and warm back here when you're running your hot water heater. I always keep an eye out at these
Gotcha.
points.
Maybe keep a trap in there, or
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Okay, so now we're back into working mode. You have water going in, water going out, nothing in between. Keep coming up.
Yep.
All right, so then we'll go into off mode. Burner kicked off, fan will continue to run until it removes all the riffs LP gas out of the system. It's usually another minute cycle that
Okay.
shuts it down. Fan, you can run on high and low. So fan means it's circulating air from the outside in. Okay. Spending the majority of the time in this area, I always leave my vents open.
Okay.
But if you nighttime, you can close both of them, and now it turns into circulating. The air goes throughout the whole entire unit.
The ducting.
Yep.
Okay.
Only on the ceiling. Your furnace heat is only coming out of the floor. Air conditioner and fan is coming out of the ceiling.
Is there a duct?
You can run on high. You can run on low. Okay. Or then you go to cool. High or low. You set your thermostat. Okay. What it does is it doesn't. When it reaches desired temperature in here, usually rule of thumb with air conditioners, they will cool anywhere from 20 to 25 degrees cooler than the outside temperature.
Okay.
So if it's a 90-degree day, you're going to get in the low 70s, high 60s. Okay, depending on direct sunlight. So if the sun, you have no cover.
Try parking in the shade, right?
Yes, absolutely. The sun's beating down on that air conditioner, it's going to make it tough for it to cool. But usually, I mean, they work pretty good. We usually bring. It's a big bed, isn't it? We usually bring a trailer in here in the dead of summer, and we leave the air conditioner on all day long. That's where we'll all go for breaks. So we actually have air conditioning, and we've had it to where there's frost on the windows.
Oh, nice.
So it'll cool it down significantly.
Okay.
But you just gotta always be aware of, like, oh, where am I right now? It's 90 degrees out. I'm dying in here. It's because the sun is on that surface point. It's probably 125 degrees.
Okay.
Okay. So if you can find shady areas, that'd be great. Perfect for air conditioning.
Okay. Where's your quarter, kid?
Again, high and low on the air conditioner. I always, rule of thumb is when starting your air conditioner or fan, always start it on high.
Okay.
Sometimes on low, it's not enough amperage to turn that motor over. And what'll happen is it'll flat spot the motor and it won't turn. So always start it on high.
Okay.
Okay. I mean, you usually see. I mean, I don't think you would have a problem if I put it on low, it'll start because it's not a very old unit.
Okay.
Okay.
Does the air conditioner run off of just electric?
Just electric.
Okay.
Yep, just electric. In order to have fan or anything, you have to be plugged into electricity.
Good to know.
And your bathroom. I switch exhaust fan, foot flush, toilet.
Bye, winterizer.
Shower, GFI outlet.
Okay.
Let's see. That's pretty much